It is a warm and beautiful afternoon here in South Florida, in Tampa, at the home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium, as we bring you the class of...
Go, Ryan.
So the opening kickoff will be sent away by the North team. They're wearing the blue jerseys today. Michael Calton from Manalapan High School in New Jersey sends one high and deep, and we are underway here in South Florida on a beautiful afternoon for some high school football. We're glad you're with us. And the South team will be starting at its own 25-yard line. Well, Jesse, we could not have asked for better weather. I know we're at the end of January, but you'd have no idea based on what we're experiencing here this weekend in Tampa.
You know, normally they say 40, 50 degrees is football weather. RC. This is football weather. 80 degrees in January. Sign me up any day of the week. I love to go out here and see if I can run a couple routes myself.
So the South team will start from its own 25-yard line. We'll see pretty standard formations all afternoon long from both teams. And on the first play from scrimmage, a handoff and a running play, and a good job by the North defense to get there and make the tackle. Nehemiah Hunter from South Granville High School in North Carolina, a linebacker, in on the stop after a short gain.
You know, and when we watch these games, Ryan, we're always looking for the spectacular plays. We're always looking for the splash plays. But a lot of times when it comes down to the nitty-gritty of it, is you want to be able to see teams run the football. You want to see guys tackle. You want to see the fundamentals of football on full display because, again, all these guys are trying to find themselves at the next level and give themselves an opportunity to play the game of football. And you do that by doing the fundamental things each and every time on the football field.
That was Mason Bowman who got the last carry. Caden Anderson is playing quarterback on this first series for the South. And a handoff on second down up to about the 30-yard line, and that's going to be it. And it's actually Quinn Neiman, I beg your pardon, Quinn Neiman from Lake Minneola High School in Florida, who right now is running things for Team South at the quarterback position, and they're looking at a 3rd and 5 from their own 30-yard line.
And one thing that we want to mention about these games where you talk about being able to go from the classroom to the football field, these guys only had a couple days together to put in offense and defense. So you're going to see some wristband stuff. You may even see some mistakes, but they've done a tremendous job, coaches and players, of getting the information to each other and being able to go out there and distribute it on the football field.
So 3rd and 5 for Team South and the first drop back of the game. And Neiman will roll to his left. A penalty flag comes in as Neiman goes out of bounds, short of a first down at around the line of scrimmage. But we'll wait and see what this penalty is back at around the 26-yard line.
And normally that penalty usually comes when they throw it in the middle of the field where the big guys are at. That's usually where offensive holding happens right there. So this is probably going to come back 10 yards on an offensive holding, and they'll play that game again. But, you know, talk about these athletes, man. There's just so many young athletes. You look at, you know, forecasting these guys wanting to get to college and wanting to get to the league. You think about how important high school football is. Look at the way the NFL is being played today. Shotgun football, RPOs, all those type of things. That's because your quarterback and your athletes are playing that style of football right now in high school. So you got to kind of almost have that transition from high school to college into the pros, and you're seeing it on full display today.
That penalty was declined by the North, and so it'll be 4th down and time to punt for the South. Dominic Roletter, a defensive lineman, was the one getting after the quarterback Neiman on that 3rd down play and forced him out of bounds short of the line to gain. And so now a chance to punt for the South team. This is Daniel Hull, who gets away a good punt. And it will bounce at the 20-yard line. It's going to roll inside the 10 and be downed at about the 5-yard line. An incredible flip-flop punt there from Daniel Hull. And the North will be backed up to start its first drive back inside their own 10.
Absolutely. Incredible punt. One of the rules here we have in the blue-gray game is you can't rush the punter. You saw he kind of bobbled the snap, dropped it, picked it up, but he had a booming punt that gave the team, his team, great field position right now. A ball backed up on the 5-yard line. A 95-yard drive will ensue after that, but special
Michael Calton going to kick it off. Still early in this first quarter, but Team North has taken an early lead on a long touchdown pass from Demir Asheru to Jalen Townsend. It was a 95-yard drive. And the kickoff by Calton will go through the back of the end zone. The South will be starting at its own 25-yard line. And you mentioned this, Jesse, but I love Demir Asheru's composure in the pocket as we take another look at this touchdown.
Yeah, composure in the pocket, breaks down. I buy myself some time. Look, eyes staying down the field, and when you have your eyes down the field, good things happen. And the receiver, he's from Michigan. It's pretty cold in Michigan. When you come out here to South Florida, your limbs tend to thaw out a little bit, and you can run a little bit faster. 82 yards later for a touchdown.
So the North with an early lead. By the way, this is the 9th game for Blue-Gray All-American Bowls here in this stadium. The North and the South have split the first 8. And on first down, the South throwing, and the pass incomplete off of the hands of James McGinn, a quarterback from First Academy right here in Florida. So he's a little more accustomed to the conditions that we're experiencing here today. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And sometimes with these young quarterbacks, you talk about the mechanics, right? A lot of these guys want to be all arm. But sometimes the simple throws, right? Get your hips in place, step through, and throw to where he's going, not where he's been, for a better passing completion.
And on 2nd down, McGinn will hand off over the right side for not much of a gain. That Team North front doing an excellent job of attacking the ball carrier there for a gain of maybe 1 to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, you want 11 guys to the football. You hear coaches harp about that all the time. Hey, I need 11 hats to the football. Get there fast, get there physical, get there violently. And that's what you see early on in this football game. You've seen a lot of guys to the ball carrier, not just trying to hit guys, but actually hit and wrapping up and bringing down the ball carrier.
Christian Barney is a good-sized linebacker at 205 pounds who made that last tackle. And the South in danger now of going 3 and out for the 2nd time to start this game. And movement up front here. It looked like the North maybe came across into the neutral zone. We'll see if the officials agree with that, and they do. And so that will make this a much more manageable 3rd down situation. 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, nothing frustrates coaches offensively and defensively more than pre-snap penalties. For a defensive guy, you shouldn't be worried about the snap count. Your focus, your sole focus is looking in at the football. You don't move until it moves. And a good quarterback who has a good count, hut, gets you to kind of jump off sides every now and again. You saw that right there, free 5 yards for Team South.
We'll see what they do here on 3rd and 4. They want to hand off, and there is just no space for Deontay Burgess, the running back from Mulberry High School here in Florida. He is tackled for no gain, and the South will go 3 and out for the 2nd time to start this game.
RC, when you watch this play, right, they're running a little bit of an RPO. Watch how many hats get there. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. I mean, there's 5 or 6 hats to the ball carrier right now. And that's what you want as a defense. I want a bunch of guys to the football. I want to eliminate all the air space out of there. And we want to meet at the ball carrier, have a party at the ball carrier, and now you get to 4th down and you have to punt the ball away.
Well, that series for Team North was the Christian Barney show as he made that tackle again on 3rd down. Now the punt by Hull. His first effort was downed inside the 5. This one will be fair caught at the 27-yard line. And that's where Team North will take over with a 7-0 lead. Their defense looking good early. Back here in Tampa, 14-0 Team North with the lead. They have had 2 drives and 2 touchdowns so far. Courtney Davis orchestrating a drive that brought Team North all the way down the field and ended with his 10-yard touchdown run. And now the kickoff will go 8 yards deep and be brought out of the end zone here by the South. And a pretty nice return across the 20. Turning left up to about the 25-yard line was the return man, Mason Bowman. For Team South, that's Cedric Allison, a running back out of Oakdale, Louisiana, with a pretty nice return.
Yeah, we talk a lot about what happens offensively, what happens defensively, but we can't neglect special teams. Special teams are special, and so we'll see in these games, whether it's a kickoff return or a punt return, those plays can change the dynamic of a football game. It's a lot of hitting yardage in a return or a punt or things like that. So getting those good returns, getting your offense great field position, or setting your defense up will work wonders for you, and college coaches look for that as well.
So Team South on its 3rd drive now, looking for some sort of rhythm offensively, and they'll try a running play on 1st down, and there's just not a lot of room around that left side. Gain of just a couple up to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, what Team South has to kind of work on now is, how can I soften up Team North defense? I got to get some passes on the outside, whether it's a quick screen, a bubble screen, a slant, a hitch, something to make those defenders have to kind of just pause for a second, because these linebackers are coming downhill right now, and that's clogging up the running lanes for the running back and the quarterbacks.
This is Sean Fogel's first opportunity as the quarterback for Team South. He will hand off here on second down. And again, not much of a gain up to the 31-yard line. Team North getting there in a hurry. It was Royce Daugherty in on the stop. And it's going to bring up third down, and this is a big play. It sounds weird to say that, Jesse, early in this game, but the South already finds itself down 14-0. They don't have a first down yet. Big third down and 3.
Yeah, this is huge right now, down 14-0. What you don't want to do is give Team North right now the ball back, who is rolling offensively. You want to kind of sustain a drive, give your defense a chance to get a blow. So huge third down for Team South.
And that's going to be a false start. Sean Fogel, the quarterback, was actually dropping back, anticipating the snap. And so instead of 3rd and 3, it'll now be 3rd down and 8. Just over halfway through this first quarter, both teams have possessed the ball 2 full times. This is the 3rd possession for Team South.
Hard count giveth and hard count taketh away. The South got a first 5 yards last time they had the possession. This time they get backed up 5 yards behind the hard count from the quarterback. Again, same thing applies for running backs, receivers, linemen. You're looking at the football. You can't jump off sides when you know the snap count.
So 3rd down and 8, and a pretty obvious passing situation here for Team South. Fogel in the gun. And some more movement up front. And the officials will say that this is once again against Team South, a false start, to move them back now to 3rd down and 13.
This may be one of my favorite calls of all time, when a referee comes out and he goes, false start. Everyone but the center. I love that call. That's the greatest call that ever been called in the game, because everyone moves except the center. So either they're all right and he's wrong, or he's right and they're all wrong. I love it, but he's the last one with his hand on the ball, so I'm going to say that he's right and all the rest of those guys are wrong.
Well, who would know other than him, right?
Yeah, I mean.
He can at least blame it on the others if it's not actually his fault. So now 3rd and 13, the South back at the 22-yard line. And again, without a first down so far in this first quarter and down 14-0. Fogel, with some time, is going to step up into the pocket and will just pick up what yardage he can to the original line of scrimmage, and that's all, as he slides down at the 25-yard line, and Team South once again will send in the punt team.
Ryan, there aren't many 19-yard third down plays that you have in your playbook. I'm just, as someone who's been around a few playbooks in his time, coach is like, hey, I got this 3rd 19 play I want to run out there right quick. So when you have 2 false start penalties, that definitely puts you behind the chains and puts you in a very, very tough situation where the defense now just sits back and they'll go, well, we'll just stand at the sticks and give you everything in front and come up and tackle you.
So Daniel Hull with his 3rd opportunity to punt here early. This is a good one. And it will be returned here from the 21-yard line, and Kalitri Boyd will be dropped shortly after he fields that punt. Good special teams play there by the South. One of the first guys there was Nigel Dowdell. And so Team North will have the football back, up 14-0 with just over 6 minutes left in this first quarter at Raymond James Stadium. And Jesse, we've seen... So Team North 21-6 up over the South here in this first half, and they have really looked good offensively despite 2 turnovers in the game. They've had a couple of interceptions, but fortunately those have not led to touchdowns, and give credit to the North defense for that. Here comes the return for the South, and a good coverage provided by the North. Only to the 15-yard line comes the return. And bringing it up for the South was Nazir Jones, who's actually listed as a linebacker at 6 foot, 180 pounds, from 96 High School in South Carolina. only got back to the 15-yard line, so the South will be backed up just a bit to start this next drive. And this is a big drive here, Jesse. Early in the second quarter, the South down by 15. They've got to find some momentum and some rhythm moving the football down the field.
No, they absolutely do, because as this game goes on, if you can't find any rhythm, it seems like the team North has all the rhythm. But this is a good start to it right here.
Yeah, very nice start to the drive for the South as Elijah Farmer got the carry around the left side from Clover, South Carolina. And that's a first down carry up to the 28-yard line.
Good play by the running back, just trying to find a little bit of airspace wherever he can. The middle was clogged up, so he bounces to the outside. The tackle kind of gets that end hooked, and he finds some running room around the edge for a first down.
And back to throw here on this first down play. Sean Fogle rolling out to his right, and the pass incomplete, intended for Tyson Gast, a receiver out of Lake Gibson High School in Florida. Shane Eller provided the pressure there to force Fogle out of the pocket. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Good play right there by the linebacker, reading his keys, understanding who I have. I got the running back in the flat, and you want to, again, eliminate all that airspace, be tight in coverage, be in his hip pocket, so that when that ball is released, now I can kind of just, we have a little bit of a tug, but I can get that outstretched hand out there for an incomplete pass.
The South will have a slot on the right here on 2nd and 10 from their own 28-yard line. And Fogle is going to hand off inside. Good effort to get up to about the 33-yard line there. That was, again, Farmer on the carry. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 coming up here for the South, trying to keep momentum going on this drive as Barry made the stop for the North.
Yeah, another critical down right here. You want to make sure that you extend this drive. Team North has kind of found that rhythm again offensively, so you don't want to give them the ball back right now. 3rd and 5, you want to be able to kind of help this drive be sustained a little bit more to give yourself an opportunity to score some points.
Team South really needs to stay connected here early in this second quarter. Fogle in the shotgun. They're going to hand it off, and a nice play made defensively. That's Nehemiah Hunter with a tackle for loss on the ball carrier, Jonathan Jackson, who could not turn the corner. And the South will have to punt it back to the North.
Yeah, Nehemiah Hunter, I like that name for a linebacker, Hunter. And that's what he did right there. He saw the linebacker and hunted him, saw the running back and hunted him down, defeated his block, got to the outside, and eliminated the running back for a loss. 4th and 7, and Team South, will have to come out and punt this ball away.
Kalitri Boyd will be back deep to receive the punt.
And this type of yardage right here, you're thinking about it, this is an opportunity for a good type of return. The returner will have some time. He'll have some space.
Boyd's going to let it bounce, and he muffed it, and it's going to be recovered by the South. Now, they're not able to advance that. They will get it where it was recovered. Team South will get the football back at the 20-yard line. Getting down there and making the play was K.C. Bradford, a defensive back from Alabama, and a big mistake here by Team North.
Yeah, that football, that oblong football, it takes some weird bounces. And if you don't have, if that ball bounces once and you can't get on it and it bounces again, that sometimes can get up on you quicker than you think. And that's what happened. The ball bounced twice, took a weird bounce off the shoulder pad of the returner, and another unfortunate turnover for Team North, giving the ball to Team South back in the red zone. We'll see what Team South has been able to do. They haven't been able to do much with the turn that they've gotten today. 6 points out of those 3 turnovers so far today. They need to get something going because they've been gifted the ball plenty today. This game could be a lot closer if they were able to do something with it offensively.
They had it inside the 10 on both of those first 2 red zone opportunities and came away with field goals both times. Now Quinn Neiman back to throw, is going to go end zone on first down, and that pass is caught for a touchdown. Team South will immediately cash in with a touchdown. What a beautiful throw by Neiman, and the catch for the touchdown made by, let's take a look here, Cody Roberts, number 13. The receiver out of Southside High School in Alabama, he just went up and high-pointed the football, Jesse.
Yeah, what a good route. We cover it right there. One score in this football game, and they're right back in it.
James McGinn will be the quarterback on this drive, starting at the 40. And McGinn will throw. He's hit as he throws, and that pass nearly intercepted. Thrown into double coverage, winds up incomplete. And that was the best case scenario there for the South. It'll be 2nd and 10.
You know what they say, RC, about DBs?
There's a reason they play DB and not WR?
They're receivers who can't catch. And we saw that on full display right there. Because you think about it, they do the same thing that receivers do. They actually do it they do it backwards. The only problem is when the ball hits their hands, they usually drop it. When it hits the receiver's hands, most of the time, we usually catch it.
It was Blake Scrofnagel who made the play defensively, but not quite the play that he could have made. 2nd down, handoff. This is Mekhi Phillips, and Phillips will find very little room around the right side. Got to the 38-yard line for a gain of 2 to set up 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, watch the linebacker in this play. We call this scraping. He comes down, he's reading where the hole's getting ready to open up at. Doesn't open, he scrapes off that hole, meets the running back on the outside, tackles him, slows him up a little bit for the cavalry to come. That's one thing the North has done really well today on defensively. They've gotten 11 guys to the football. They've corralled the runner and made sure that whatever gain that he got, it wasn't more after that. It was, all right, you got this game, but we're here now. We're bringing the ball carrier down.
James McGinn trying again for that hard count. Had a player in the neutral zone, but they didn't snap it. Now 3rd down and 8. Handoff up the middle and close to a 1st down. Deontay Burgess on the carry. They are right at the marker, and it will be enough to move the sticks for Team South and give them a fresh set of downs, and a great run here by Burgess.
Yeah, early in the football game, these holes weren't there for Team South. And what happens now is you begin to wear that defense down a little bit. Offensively for the North, they haven't been able to sustain those long drives, so you put your defense back out on the field with these turnovers, and now what happens is those holes that were closed earlier, tired defense, those holes are now open, and you see the running game begin to pick up for Team South.
They'll keep it on the ground again here with Burgess, and Burgess will do a good job cutting up the field inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Deontay Burgess out of Mulberry High School right here in Florida, so didn't have to come far. 6 foot, 210 pounds. And a gain of 7 on that 1st down carry. So those holes, as you mentioned, Jesse, that were not available early on in this football game, that Team South offensive line starting to wear down the other side. And it's paying off nicely on this drive. 2nd and 5. Again, Burgess patiently waits for the blocking to develop, and it will be brought down very close to a 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and short coming up.
Yeah, absolutely right. One thing that these young men are far greater shape than you and I are.
Coming up here for the South, James McGinn is in as the quarterback for the South team. Ken Stills is their head coach today here in Tampa. And they're going to hand off. This is Burgess, and Burgess will be brought down from behind. A nice tackle made by Shane Eller. This is going to depend on the spot. They were very close to a 1st down, and it looks like that Eller got to Burgess for no gain.
That's why it's so important to defend every blade of grass, because in this game, like we mentioned earlier, on 4th down, you got to kick either punt it or kick the field goal. And so if you give up that extra yard, now you're talking about a 1st down being made. You got to live out there for another four downs defensively. But great run down from the backside, made the tackle, and now set up for, what would that be, a 30-something yard field goal for Team South.
And this is Connor Gibbs, who has been good from 23 and from 25. This is from 37 from the left hash. And it is blocked. That one did not have the height on it to get over the line out of Maiden High School in North Carolina. The return by the South to the 20-yard line. That's where they'll start, down 28-13 with 3:17 remaining here in the half. So a chance to put some points on the board prior to halftime.
Now, as a 4-year starter at the University of North Carolina, a national champion at the University of North Carolina. I don't have any bias. Okay, Ryan Castle?
None.
I don't have any bias at all. All I'm going to say is this. NC State is the little brother stepchild of North Carolina Chapel Hill. That's all I'm going to say. So, Alec, if you're looking for the right place to go in your decision making, no bias, Ryan Castle. No bias from me, the North Carolina Tar Heel. No bias from me. All I'm saying is if you want to make a smart decision, if you want to make the best decision, and you want to go to the school that truly represents the state of North Carolina, I'm just saying 15501 heads right into Chapel Hill. Just saying.
I don't think, partner, you could have been any more objective.
No bias. No bias here. No bias here. No real affiliation with the Chapel Hill area or the university. Just got my degree from communications in there. It was a 4-year starter, 2-year basketball player, national champion. No, but there's no bias from me. Okay, Ryan? There's no bias from me.
I would never accuse you of such a thing,
No bias
Jesse
from me.
Holly.
I want Alec to make the right decision as a player.
Well, a timeout is called here by the South. They're looking at 3rd down and about 6 with 2:25 remaining. They've kept it on the ground, Jesse, which is maybe a little unexpected perhaps when you're trying to put together a drive here with 3.5 minutes remaining in the half. Maybe try and get down and cut into this deficit just a little bit. The North is going to receive the football to start the second half of play. So, if you're Coach Ken Stills, you'd really like to get down there, get in range to put up some more points in this first half, and we'll see what they draw up coming out of this timeout on 3rd and about 7 from their own 24-yard line.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to give Team North the ball back right now with 3 timeouts and 2 minutes 25 seconds left. So your hope is to get a first down right here so you can kind of run this clock out a little bit, because if not, then Team North has an opportunity for a 2-for-1 type of deal, score and get the ball back at halftime.
So on 3rd down, a play action fake. Sean Fogel going to get out of there and deliver the ball on target, but it's going to be short of a first down. The pass was caught there by Elijah Farmer, the running back out of the backfield, but he did not pick up the first down, Jesse.
There's a flag down on the field. I don't know what the flag is for down here at the bottom. But, for the running back, you want him to understand also that, hey, we want to keep the clock rolling, right? We don't want to give Team North an opportunity for the clock to stop. We want them to have to burn their timeouts. And so if that penalty is against Team South, you now find yourself with a 4th down and the clock stop, and you have to punt the ball away back to Team North, who has 3 full timeouts left at their disposal.
Well, the officials still working to get this sorted out. Looks like they might be talking over there with Dick Bell and Rodney Beasley, trying to figure out what exactly transpired and why that penalty flag was thrown. Sometimes when that's dropped right at the line of scrimmage, it's for illegal formation or perhaps offsides, but we never actually saw a call there. But it looks like it was against the North, because they're going to replay 3rd down here, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 1.5 yards. So another chance for the South to move the sticks and keep this drive going with just over 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Fogel back to throw. Has some time, is going to go deep and has a man all alone for a catch. Along the right sideline, Tyson Gast got free and is into North territory with a big play.
There was absolutely a blown coverage there. We'll get a chance to see the replay coming up, but Tyson Gast got behind the defenders on the 3rd down. There was a miscommunication between the cornerback and the safety. The cornerback thought he had the flat. Running backs come out to the flat. He comes down to converge on that. The safety did not get over the top fast enough. Huge play by Gaston for a huge first down on 3rd down and short to give Team South an opportunity to score some points here.
And still plenty of time with 2 timeouts left. Handoff up the middle. This is Burgess. And Deontay Burgess for a gain of 2 to the 28-yard line. Well, Deontay Burgess has had a stellar game so far for the gray-shirted South team. And a timeout is going to be called here to stop play with 2 minutes remaining in the first half. And if you're Team South here, Jesse, I think it's imperative you've got to at least get 3 to try and stay somewhat connected with the North. Remember that the North will get the ball to start the third quarter of play.
MVP candidate. He's my early MVP candidate of the Blue-Gray All-American game.
So back to play after the timeout. 2nd and 8 for the South. And Fogel will turn and will hand it off. And Jonathan Jackson, who's had a couple of electrifying plays already so far, will gain close to 5 there on that 2nd down run, bring up 3rd down and about 2 or 3 coming up.
And this is a good spot to be in when you talk about as a quarterback and as a play caller, because now I still have the ability, if I feel good about the RPO, to run the football for the 1st down, but I also now can roll my quarterback out. I have other options that I can get into to extend this, and it really puts the defense back on their heels because they have to now defend every inch of the field, the run and the pass, and you have options on both of them.
Fogel with 2 running backs is going to turn and hand off on the sweep. And this again is Farmer, Elijah Farmer, inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. That's enough for a 1st down for the South. Still 1:10 left here, Jesse, so some time to take shots at the end zone. See if you can put one in the house to get 7 before the half. And, you know, I feel like if you're Team South, getting a touchdown here would really make you feel good about a first half that for the most part has been dominated by the North.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting points here will definitely put you in a situation where you're saying, all right, we had opportunities. We didn't converge on a lot of the turnovers that we got, but we're still in this football game, and anything can happen in the second half. So getting some points here would be paramount.
Fogel will go to the end zone, and that pass is going to be intercepted. He overthrew Aaron Jackson, and it is picked off in the end zone. Blake Scroffnagel, who dropped an interception earlier, this time Jesse sure-handed, able to get the takeaway.
Yeah, they went back to the well again. That same post corner out that they scored on earlier in the game, they went back to it. But this time the safety said, fool me once, shame on me. You won't fool me again. Is in there for the interception. Ball back to Team North with full complement of timeouts, might I add, Ryan. 3 timeouts with 35 seconds left. You still have a lot of time, and anything is open now. You can throw down the middle of the field. You can throw on the sidelines. Anything is open because you have those 3 timeouts.
On run off of a great play fake, and then showing the speed to get to the corner. And now the kickoff will be returned 1 yard deep out of the end zone by the South across the 20. And a nice return up to about the 22-yard line. Well, really good, savvy play there by Asheru at the end of that run to switch the ball from his right to his left hand and reach it across the pylon for the touchdown. And so now Team South looking to respond. We're still early in this third quarter with a lot of football left to be played, and a good start to the drive as Jonathan Jackson, who's been a spark plug out of the backfield for the South, will get a 1st down up to the 35-yard line and a gain of 12.
And Team South has done, great jobs at different points in time of this game. Their biggest problem is when they've gotten into the red zone and they've gotten to that scoring area, like we talked about earlier, that space is now condensed, and what the freedom that you had with the open space out in the field, you don't have in the red zone, and they've just been unable to get in there and score a touchdown. They dropped the touchdown earlier, but just overall, they haven't been doing a good job in the red zone.
From the 35-yard line, and a handoff here to Deontay Burgess, who's also been stellar out of the backfield for the South. He'll get up to about the 40-yard line for a gain of 5, as the South has put it on the ground on the first 2 plays of this possession with James McGinn as the quarterback. The South under Coach Arlo Henderson being pretty creative in the running game. We've seen that Statue of Liberty type play a couple of times already in this game, just trying to make sure that the North keeps their eye integrity intact. And now 2nd down and about 5.5. McGinn will turn and hand it off again. And one more time Across the 40 up to about the 42-yard line goes Jackson. And that will set up third down and short. Third and about 2 coming up here for the South. And a really important third down as the South tries to keep this drive going, down 19 halfway through the third.
And that's some good tackling by Team North. You see it come up, make the stick, for a little gain right there, and it puts them in a situation now, 3rd and 2. Let's see what they can do offensively for Team South. Can they keep this drive alive?
McGinn is going to throw quickly to the outside, and that pass is caught for a first down. Able to connect with the receiver there to move the chains. That is Brandon Reiser out of Catawba Ridge High School in South Carolina. Just 5'10", 180 pounds, but able to use all of his frame there to shield off the defender and get the first down for Team South.
And that's what, the advantage of having 3rd and 2 is that the defense can't hold you to one thing because you have the option to do it all. That time right there, they chose to run a little hitch route, and it's complete for a first down.
There's Burgess running outside the numbers with a good carry on first down, and the South continues to methodically move the football down the field. That's a gain of 7 for Deontay Burgess. Running behind that big offensive line, Pernell Richardson, 6'4", 305 from Sandalwood High School in Florida. He's an ACC target, one of several big guys up front. Nick Kraveritis out of Katy High School in Texas, playing on the right side of that offensive line right now. He is an Emporia State commit. Burgess takes another handoff, able to get around the corner again for a first down. Down close to the North 40-yard line.
And the big boys up front, they go on my all-grocery bill team. You talk about 305 pounds. Imagine what it takes for a parent to have to be able to keep that fridge filled up for some of these kids. And think about it, like even the small kids, they eat a lot, but 305 pounds, an active kid, that's a healthy 305 pounds. The Lunchables aren't working for him anymore. You're going to need a little bit more than just little Lunchables to feed him. I sure am glad I don't have that grocery bill.
First down for Team South. Play action fake. McKinn hit as he throws. That's up in the air and intercepted. Team North right there to make the pick. Christopher Horning, linebacker out of Columbine High School in Colorado, in the right place at the right time. And McGinn maybe throwing that a little inadvised with the easy interception made there by Horning.
Yeah, as he began to roll out left, you can kind of tell that this play doesn't have much left into it. And so, as a quarterback, you wanted to make the smart decision and either eat the football and take the sack or throw the football out of bounds, live to see another day. But
it was 28-13 at the half. The South got a field goal. They had to settle for a field goal after getting a takeaway early in this third quarter, and then a 20-yard touchdown run by Demir Asheru to put the North in front 35-16. 3 of the touchdowns for the North have come on quarterback runs today, so that's been an integral part of their offense. And now we'll see the South in the gray jerseys starting at their own 25-yard line. And Sean Fogel is going to hand off on first down. And the North there in a hurry to make the stop. Christian Barney made another tackle for the North after a gain of just 1.
You made a great point, Ryan, and the quarterback being an integral part of the offense. You see it so much now in the pro level. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles, and we talk about this as playing 11-on-11 football. A lot of times the defense will have the advantage with the pocket quarterback 10-on-11 because the quarterback is not a viable option. You see these quarterbacks today, especially on Team North, they make you play 11-on-11 football. And if you forget about them, they can go and score touchdowns for you with their legs.
Fogel is going to dump it off in the left flat. Jonathan Jackson slipping by one would-be tackler. And we'll get up to about the 32-yard line. It's going to set up a manageable third down here for the South. And to your point, Jesse, look at the negative case of that yesterday with San Francisco. And Brock Purdy had to come back into that game in the second half. And he was really no threat at all. And you saw the dimension of that San Francisco offense just completely deteriorate when you don't have to account for the quarterback really as a passer or as a thrower. And that's one thing that the North has really done a great job of today, is use their quarterbacks in the running game. That has really led to a lot of their success. Up 19 with just over 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Vogel is in the shotgun. Big play here for the South, trying to keep this play or this drive going. Vogel has time here across the middle. That pass complete up to midfield. One of the more effective pass plays we've seen today out of the South is caught by Hayden Weiss, a receiver from Turlings Catholic High School in Louisiana. A gain of 16 and a first down.
You know, a lot of times you come to these All-Star games, you want to say, all right, what makes this player special? What makes that player special? What gives them the gift to come out here and play in these All-Star games like this? You saw it right there. When a quarterback can put his foot in the ground, put that back foot plants and drive the ball into the middle of the football field where a lot of guys are surrounding. The ball was almost tipped by a linebacker, put it right on the receiver. That's what's special about some of these quarterbacks, and you saw that on display right there.
Vogel again with a quick drop, and this pass is caught by Tyson Gast. Similar looking play, and Gast to the 33-yard line for a gain of 17 more in back-to-back. Really impressive looking pass plays put together by the South.
Yeah, we call that a frozen rope. He put that one on a frozen rope. The ball, again, got to the top of his drop, was very decisive, put his foot in the ground, opened up his hips, and drove that ball right into the middle of the field for a completion before the safety came down on the hit on the receiver.
So the South again moving the football well on the doorstep of the red zone here with 4:53 to play in the third. Vogel again will go back to throw. This time is going to step up and move the pocket to his left. Fires out of bounds. Just got rid of that football with the pressure bearing down on him. And he'll live to see 2nd down and 10 coming up.
And that's what you want. The quarterback, hey, there's nothing there, right? Both of your receivers are at the bottom of the screen, and you rolled out to your left. There was no other receivers out there. Throw the ball away. Live to see another down. Don't try to force that thing in there or throw back across your body into danger. Throw it out of bounds. 2nd down. We regroup. Coach calls another play. Now another opportunity with the football to go out there and make a play.
It looked like Shane Eller for the North, who was getting after the quarterback and making it tough on Vogel. Sets up 2nd and 10 at the North 33-yard line. And a handoff up the middle. This is for Javion Roscoe. Roscoe from Grissom High School in Alabama will gain 3 to set up 3rd down and 7 for the South. That's sort of been the MO pretty often today for the South. Throw on 1st down. And if it's incomplete, try to run on 2nd down to set up a 3rd and more manageable. They're putting themselves in 3rd and long pretty often today. This is 3rd down and 7. They'll have 2 receivers and 2 running backs. A 3rd receiver in the slot to the right. And Vogel back to throw. Has a clean pocket. And is going to lob one towards the end zone. What an interception is made down around the 1-yard line. What a play made right there by the North. That is Javen Sewell out of Cass Tech High School, all the way from Michigan. He's a MAC target and made a great play on the football right there.
Yeah, he's in off coverage right there. So his eyes are locked in at the quarterback. He's watching the quarterback the entire time, keeping the receiver in front of him, and he's saying, if you throw this ball over here, I'm just going to go up there and pick it off. He goes up at the highest point, gives himself an opportunity to get a touchdown. You know, from the quarterback perspective, you got to kind of see that. You got to watch the guy and say he's in off coverage. So he's watching everything that I'm doing back here, and nothing, you know, he's not worried about a fake. He's not worried about anything beating him behind him because he's already 10 yards off.
Now, what a performance today by the North. Courtney Davis registering his first touchdown pass of the game. He's now been responsible for 3 of the 6 touchdowns scored by the North. The first 2 with his legs, and this one a 99-yard pass and a beautifully thrown ball. Yoder able to get underneath it, and then Yoder did the rest. And now the kickoff by Michael Calton will be taken out of the end zone here by Jonathan Jackson. sort of hesitantly. He gets to the 15. Penalty flag comes in as Jackson escapes across the 25. But there are 2 flags down on the play. And that is more than likely going against the South. Barrett Newman was in the neighborhood. Newman last night announcing that he has committed to play for Liberty University. That was at the jersey presentation ceremony last night.
Yeah, and coaches tell you on special teams, when you're on the return team, never block back into the returner. If I can see the name on the back of the jersey, then I should not be blocking him. And that's what happened right there, blocking the back. Take this back half the distance to the goal line. So now what was a solid return for Team South find themselves on the 5-yard line coming out.
That's sort of just been the story of the afternoon for the South. They've had a few things go their way. They are winning the turnover battle by a big margin, but on the scoreboard, there's a different story. And now starting probably with their worst field position of the afternoon at their own 5-yard line.
And Team South, you know, they've done a good job moving the ball within I guess between the 20s, but it's when they got into the red zone and the fridge red zone area in their territories when they just kind of they frizzled out a little bit. I don't know if it was just the play calling or the mental thought process of it, but it just when they got into that area, they just could not figure out ways to get the ball into the end zone. And we've seen Team North have a 95-yard drive, a 99.5-yard play drive, and so now you're looking at Team South, and you got to figure something out. Like, now is the time. You got to get this thing going because this game is slipping away from you. That time is continually ticking away, and if you don't get something going right now, this will be too far out of reach for you to come back.
Javion Roscoe got that first handoff of this drive, picked up 4. Now 2nd down and 6, and the penalty flag comes in prior to the snap. And that is going to be against the offense. And so that'll move them back half the distance to the goal, bring up 2nd down and long coming up. This Team South offense has shown a few things in the running game. They put together a couple of nice plays in the passing game on their last drive, but the red zone has not been their friend today. And they're going to drop back and throw here on 2nd and long. And taking off and running is Quinn Neiman, the quarterback from Lake Minneola High School here in Florida. And he will set up a 3rd down and about 4 here for Team South after the run.
Yeah, he got some of that penalty yardage back on that run right there, giving himself now a chance on 3rd down, 3rd and 4 to go right here. Those type of plays with, again, the quarterback having to be the 11th man that you have to account for. When you send those receivers down the football field, it opens up some of that running room, and the quarterback with his eyes in the right place can see that, tucks it, gets what he can, and now it's 3rd and 4, much more manageable than 3rd and 13.
Now, this is a big play for the South. You do not want to punt it right back to the North, especially from where you are on the field. A 1st down here at least allows you to continue to try and flip field position with 1 minute to play here in this 3rd quarter. Neiman is going to hand off to Roscoe, and Roscoe will be brought down in the backfield. Tackle quickly made there by the North, and that is going to bring an end to the drive.
Yeah, this play was run down from the backside. You're trying to get out to the left side, but that defensive lineman beat the offensive lineman across his face, ran that play down from the backside. There was nowhere for the running back to go. He tried to cut back, and that pursuit, that backside pursuit is what you teach your defenders. Hey, don't give up on the play. Even though the ball's not coming your way, he may cut it back, and he cut it back right there into the defender's hand. Tackle for loss, brings up a 4th down. Team South has to punt the ball back to Team North.
It was Royce Doherty who made that tackle. He was originally listed as an offensive lineman, but switched over to defensive line, came up with a big play there to end the drive. And speaking of ends, that's the end of the 3rd quarter here in Tampa. The North way in front of the South as we go to the 4th.
talk a little bit about your experience? You did the blue-gray combine to prepare. What did that entail, and how did that make you even more prepared for this game?
The combine was just your average combine, running your 40, how much you can bench on 225 for how many reps. But with the one-on-ones, I really learned, there's a good
So pretty good effort there by Deneen, but the South will start at midfield with just over 12 minutes left in this fourth quarter, I should say.
Yeah, that punt was partially blocked by Perkins. 51 got inside and got his hand on that ball a little bit, and that punt was partially blocked. But, still great field position. Team South gets the ball back at the 50-yard line with an opportunity to go get some points. They got to get points right here. Every possession that Team South gets the football and they don't score a touchdown is a possession, to me, at this point in time of the game, wasted. You gotta exalt all of the options that you have in that playbook to get points on the board.
Sean Fogle will be in as the quarterback for the South. And a dump down to the left flat to Jonathan Jackson, and Jackson is going to be pile-drived to the turf. Tackle was made by Christopher Horning, and I think that's going to cost the North 15 yards.
Yeah, this is the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. This isn't the WWE Royal Rumble, and I know that gets a lot of praise and excitement from the team, but that's a 15-yard penalty every single time. And for a team that's looking for a spark, looking for some added yardage, you don't want to give a free 15 yards up. It doesn't matter what the score is. Make the tackle. The power drive game, it's not wrestling. That doesn't fly at any level, high school, college, or the pros. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty every single time, and now you've given the South an opportunity to get closer to the red zone, which, might I add, Ryan, might not be a bad strategy. If I'm Team North, I'll say to myself, let them get into the red zone, because they've gotten there all day and couldn't get into the end zone.
Yeah, they have not shown the ability to do much once they get inside the 20. Fogle back to throw. Across the middle, that pass might have been partially tipped. He was looking on a deep cross for one of his receivers, but it'll be incomplete and bring up second down and 10. And really that penalty, going back to the penalty against the North, it really turns into about a 19 or 20-yard penalty, because it was going to be a loss on that play of about 4 or 5. So you're really talking about giving the other team 20 extra yards of field position, a team that you're trying to close out that hasn't been very successful on offense today. And now the South with a little bit of life. Ryan Smith, by the way, was the intended receiver there, the tight end, who is lined up in the slot on the right. Play fake for Fogle, who will roll to his right, dumps it off into the flat for Farmer, and Farmer will have a first down inside the 30. Good run after the short throw and catch. Farmer from Clover High School in South Carolina, and he moves the chains for the South.
Yeah, and in addition to that last play, where we had the power drive, one, it's a bad play, it's a penalty, and you give up those penalty yards. But two, trying to keep the game safe. When you do that power drive type of move, the defender has no way of really bracing itself for that fall. And we see a lot of times where those heads get snapped back and you hit your head on the turf, and now concussions are formed that way. So just taking care of one another, in the realm of playing good aggressive football, not looking to have power drives like that.
And Fogle is going to go down and be sacked. Back at around the 33-yard line. That will set up second down and long, and we'll take this opportunity to go downstairs to Laura.
Your coach here, Ken Stills, had a lot of great things to say about you. He described you as a guy with a high football IQ. You're coachable, you hustle. What does that type of spotlight mean for you from an NFL veteran?
It's North to back Team South up.
Quinn Neiman, the quarterback, will throw quickly to the right side. That is caught. Not much of a gain, though. The South is going to need big plays in chunks. But that catch by Kevin Coggins, the receiver from Seminole Ridge High School in Florida, goes for 3 or 4. It'll bring up second down, and Team South going as quickly as they can. Neiman again will throw. That is caught. And the catch made by George Sarukis from Tarpon Springs here in Florida. Interesting play there by the defensive back to try to go for the interception instead of just keeping Sarukis in front of him. Allows Sarukis to get the first down.
Greed will get us all. That's what happened right there. DV thought he read that, was trying to get an interception, and didn't get it. Good throw by the quarterback, getting the ball on the outside to the receiver. Turned up, made a big play up the field.
So first down at the 32-yard line. Clock winding down near 5 minutes now. And a handoff. Questionable mesh point there between the quarterback and the running back, and Cedric Allison will gain 2 up to the 34-yard line. Actually, it was Eli Farmer, I beg your pardon, on that carry. And it's going to bring up 2nd down and 8. And if you're the South, you have to wonder right now just how many more times can we run the football.
Yeah.
This has got to become passing situations here pretty quickly. Down by 16 with 4.5 to play. 2nd down and 8. Neiman straight back to throw. And we'll try to go to the outside. That pass is going to be caught for a first down into North Territory at the 44-yard line. Great catch made by Tyson Gast, number 2 out of Lake Gibson High School here in Florida. He just posted up the defender there, Jesse.
Yeah, high point the football, go up there and get it. We have a saying sometimes, you see in the NFL, hey, he's down there somewhere. He throws it up and the receiver bailed him out with a great catch.
Here's a throw across the middle. Cody Roberts, who had a touchdown catch earlier, with a sliding grab here at the 35-yard line. 3:50 to play, and the South moving quickly.
This game is not over. You're talking about two scores right now. 2 scores and 2 extra two-point conversions give you an opportunity to be back in this football game. Team North, they can't fall asleep. They can't be complacent because Team South is driving the ball down the football field.
And Neiman going to try to get what he can with his legs. A couple of penalty flags fly in here. And this is in the area of offensive holding. That would be a drive killer at this point. Time is not the ally of Team South. And that penalty, as you see, is against the South. It will move them back 10 yards.
Yeah, you can't have penalties at this point in time when you're trying to, create scores. And that's been the biggest thing that this team has been dealing with. And now it's a little bit of, talking back and forth between the guys right there. Team South and Team West, Team South and Team North going back and forth with one another. And it's always good when you can point to this
half. So they are down to 1 timeout remaining. Down by 16, and then here's 1st and 20 after the holding penalty. Neiman back to throw, is going to step up into the pocket, trying to go deep down the field to Roberts, and Roberts nearly able to stick out his left hand and snag that catch. But it falls to the grass incomplete, and it will bring up 2nd down. So a shot taken down the field there by Neiman, but Roberts just unable to haul in that catch. And so it'll be 2nd down. And about 22 here. They're a little further back than 20. That penalty must have happened in the backfield. And so now Neiman back to throw, 2nd down and long. Rolls the pocket off to his left, crosses the line of scrimmage, so just has to run it himself, and gets to about the 42-yard line. And you can see the competitive nature and spirit of both teams starting to shine out just a little bit here as we wind this football game down. It's going to be 3rd down and long here for the South. You would imagine this is 4-down territory. It's going to be 3rd and 16. And they just called, I believe, for their final timeout of the game.
Well, I think we got to the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning in the 4th quarter. And you're right, to what you talked about earlier. People want to win this football game. The athletes want to win the football game. The coaches want to win the football game. This is bragging rights, right? This is our last game of the year. So these coaches, they got a little bit of bragging rights when they win this football game and say, I'll see you guys next year. We'll come together next year. But just know, in Tampa in 2023, we took you down.
And both teams still having fun out there. Even though you lose the football game, it's still an experience, still something to remember for the rest of your life. And, we talk about this often, but some of these student athletes may not go on to play college football. And if that's the case, you just think about the story of being able to sit your son or your daughter or grandson or granddaughter down and say, hey, look at that stadium. I played there. NFL players played there, and so did I. That is such a cool thing to be able to talk about. As Neiman's pass, actually, that is James McGinn. They inserted McGinn here in the middle of the series. That pass off of the hands of Eli Farmer, incomplete, so it'll be 4th and 16. And with about a minute and a half remaining in this game, the South will elect to go for it here on 4th and 16.
If I'm Team North defensively, I'm saying, hey, nothing gets behind you. Be deeper than the defense. We're not trying to get an interception. We just can't go up the first down right here.
McGinn rolling to his right, has a man. That pass is caught and going to be short of a first down. The receiver right there, Hayden Weiss, who caught a touchdown earlier, got back to the original line of scrimmage, but still well shy of a first down. And so Team North is going to take over. And Jesse, that's going to just about do it for this football game here this afternoon at Raymond James Stadium. The North